Oh mein Gott, das ist ja überaus praktisch, dass ich gerade eben einen Schlüssel bekommen habe, der wahrscheinlich genau da rein passt. Haha. Use the key.
The key fits perfectly into the lock. You turn it and hear a soft click. The book is now open.
Okay, ja dann lesen.
Skimming through the book, you find that a map has been sketched onto the last page. Close scrutiny reveals it is a top-down layout of the castle and its surrounding grounds. According to this, the tiara has been buried near one of the graves. You shudder, hoping that this is not going to be a case of digging all night while trying to avoid unearthed zombies. There is also a small piece of writing near the bottom. A date of fate can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing.
Ja, das war gerade ein Not auf Teil 4, bei dem man genau das machen muss. Nämlich die ganze Nacht nach in Gräbern buddeln und Zombies abwehren. Okay, was?
There is something written near the bottom.
A date of fate can be found with a first?
Can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing.
Also 1200, oder wie? First, a second, double of nothing. 1, 2, 0, 0. Das ist das Grab. Date of Fate, oder?
I wish only one thing as payment for helping you find that book.
Ach.
Of course.
Would you be so kind as to take this bracelet and place it on my mother's grave? I believe she wanted me to have it while I was alive. Now, it seems no longer appropriate to keep it. Thank you. I must retire now. It will not be long before sunrise. Good night, Graham.
Good night, Anastasia.
Und das ist jetzt was?
The bracelet looks like it would fit a small wrist. It is a circlet of diamonds surrounded by beautiful sapphires.
Schon wieder? Kann ich das benutzen?
You run your finger over the jewels. If Daventry didn't have a chest that is forever filled with gold, you would be tempted to look for a pawn shop right now.
Du Arschloch.
The glittering bracelet is too...
Mist. Ich hab gehofft, vielleicht hilft mir das jetzt gegen die Geister. Okay, dann haben wir jetzt den Hinweis, auf den ich in 1000 Jahren nicht gekommen bin. Und dann ist die noch so dreist, ja, dafür, dass ich dir den Hinweis gegeben habe. Was für einen Hinweis hast du mir gegeben, Mädel? Du hast mir einen feuchten gegeben, du hast mir ein schwarzes Buch gegeben. Und dann musste ich das dümmste Rätsel im Spiel lösen, damit ich rausfinde, was ich machen muss.
Susanna Somnia, 1195 to 1265. As you step...
Das ist nicht...
Kitty, 1500 to 1510. Sudden...
Das kann es auch nicht sein.
Tombs and crypts. The ghosts waver, as if being threatened by even the slightest breeze, yet something holds them in place. It may be nothing more than an intensely strong determination or sense of purpose that keeps the spirits anchored to this world.
Okay, ich muss diese Geister irgendwie da wegbekommen. Ich habe immer noch nichts Neues, was mir dabei hilft. Also, was hilft mir hierbei?
The ghosts... You'd rather not.
Was hilft mir bei diesen dummen Geistern? Und apropos, habe ich die Map jetzt eigentlich irgendwo, wo ich sie auch sehen kann, oder wurde die mir einfach nur beschrieben?
According to this, the tiara has been buried near one of the graves. There is something written near the bottom. A date of fate can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing.
Nö. Okay. Ja, weil ich alles andere jetzt schon benutzt habe, was Sinn ergeben würde, ist das einzig Neue, was ich habe. Für irgendwas muss es ja da sein.
As you hold up the bracelet, the ghosts seem to relax slightly. You wonder if it is now safe to approach them and enter the cemetery.
Dann lass mich das Ding noch anziehen, dann weiß ich doch wenigstens, dass es wirkt.
Lord Herbert and Lady Lillian, 1646 to 1668. Loving parents of Anastasia, beloved son and daughter-in-law of Count Caldor and Countess Lavidia, our enemies be warned. Their untimely deaths shall be avenged.
Okay, das sind also die beiden Eltern von Anastasia. Das heißt, deswegen reagieren sie auf das Armding. Das war mir nicht klar.
You place the bracelet on the grave. it immediately sinks down into the earth. The ghosts do not respond at first. Then one of them drifts toward you. It nods, almost sadly. The ghost seems to want to say something, but appears unable. Its face, though transparent and hazy, is lined with grief and torment. Its facial features waver into focus. The ghost is female.
We understand that our daughter will never be joining us now. No longer do we need wait for her. Now we journey to the realm of the dead, where its lord waits to judge us. Farewell.
You bow your head and cross your heart out of respect. While looking downward, you notice that a beautiful gold ring now lies at your feet.
Okay.
You feel apprehensive about being here.
Nein, du sollst den Ring aufheben.
You lift the gold ring from the ground and carefully place it in your pocket.
Okay, ich weiß zwar jetzt nicht warum, aber wir haben den Ring.
You do not think you have any business.
Okay, dann darf ich mich jetzt endlich in Ruhe umschauen.
Mary Ann Drinkwater, 1230 to 1266. They had traveled safely for many a day until crossing a bridge along their way. She lost her balance and fell to her fate. He tried to save her, but it was too late.
Tragisch.
Douglas Buckmaster, 995 to 1020. The noise, said he, is far too loud, as he discerned the maddened crowd. The mob broke in, then he did scream, I'd rather this a sight unseen. They strung him up from toe to head, and as for after, enough's been said.
Okay. Dann schauen wir mal da hinten lang.
Samuel You Believe, 1255 to 1300. This young man sought to be holy, to save himself from being lowly. He joined the hood and wore their cloth, eventually died from professional sloth.
Okay.
Princess Leia, 56
What?
to 83. During labor, she used too much force.
Oh mein Gott. Fucking... What? Nee. Die buddel ich nicht aus.
Boris and Olga. There was an old couple named Olga and Stovich, who in truth made quite a nice pair. They lived with each other for many long years, till they wound up in each other's hair. Date of death, 1567.
Aha.
Alfred Chamberlain, 810 to 810. He'd not seen his first sunrise, felt not the warmth of dawn. All who saw him wept and cried. To this world he'd come stillborn.
Kann ich die hier hinten überhaupt noch anklicken?
Count Bartholomew Scrooge, 1017 to 1101. To warnings he would pay no mind. Of his failing, ailing health, his relatives they'd bide their time. After all, he had great wealth.
Ich verstehe.
Jacob Scarlett, 1354 to 1411. He would not rise from out of bed, not even to soothe his aching head. Should have heeded what the doctor said. It's too late now, for he is dead.
Ja, da hat er recht.
This cemetery is one of the...
Ja, dann ist eigentlich nur noch der Grabstein da. Kann das sein?
Count Christopher
Yep.
Evere, 1175 to 1200. The young Evere, his time so near, said he, my dear, lend me your ear. Please do not fear, my life ends here.
Nicht schlecht. Okay, aber das ist 1200. Das ist also das Datum, das ich mir schon rausgerechnet hatte. Hier müssen wir buddeln. Der gute Count.
You stop digging when your shovel hits something hard.
Okay.
There is an open hole beneath one.
Ja, das weiß ich.
Nervously, you reach down, open the coffin, and look inside.
So, ein kleiner Sarg. Okay.
You search through the belongings of the deceased. According to the headstone, they belong to a Count Christopher Evere. After some tentative searching, you find a parchment. It appears to be the last will and testament of Larman Odnarb, healer. This isn't right. You run your eyes over the parchment. It's dated 1200, the same as the date on the headstone. However, the instructions pertaining to his burial were for Larman to be placed near his family at the church's cemetery. Oh dear.
Oh, scheiße. Ja, ich dachte mir doch, dass die Familie wichtig wird, die O'Dub Family, weil, ja, wir haben es ja schließlich gesagt bekommen. Oh, verdammte Axt. Das wird nicht schön. Das wird nicht schön. Das heißt, ich muss in die Kirche zurück. Das heißt, ich muss jedes Mal nochmal durch die Hecke hier durch. Nein!
You feel a heavy coldness run through your entire body.
Sag mal, kann ich hier vielleicht das blöde Zuckerstück nehmen? Ich weiß, es ist dumm eigentlich, aber ich will wissen, ob es geht.
The sharp.
Ja, ich kann. Ich weiß nicht, ob das Ding irgendwann seine Wirkung verliert, keine Ahnung, aber... Ich hab's jetzt benutzt, fertig aus. So, jetzt gebe ich dem Firma nochmal Gold. Deswegen habe ich auch noch Gold.
You have already paid the boat.
Ach so, na dann.
You climb back into the decrepit rope. This environment might be hazardous to your health after prolonged exposure to it. Best keep contact.
Ach so. Okay. Oh nein, das heißt, ich muss jetzt mal durch das Labyrinth auch nochmal durch? Muss ich auch rückwirken in das Labyrinth? Nee, okay. Zumindest das nicht. So, wir haben noch einen weiten Weg. Zuckerstück. Ich sag das, ich schreibe das jetzt, ich speichere das jetzt einfach mal so, weil ich ein bisschen Schiss davor habe, dass das irgendwann seine Wirkung verliert. Und ich es nachher doch eventuell noch bräuchte. Aber bis jetzt gab es keine Dead Ends. Wie schon mal in früheren Folgen gesagt, glaube ich, dass sie das hier einfach als Option gar nicht mehr reingesetzt haben, weil sie komplett alle Dead Ends entfernt haben, weil warum würde man schon freiwillig mit Dead Ends spielen wollen? Das macht ja nun mal nicht unbedingt einen Spielreiz aus bei dem Adventure. Und naja, habe ich auch schon oft genug jetzt gesagt, dass das nach und nach eigentlich Sera auch so ein bisschen in den Ruin getrieben hat, dass sie so sturkoppig waren und diese Dead Ends reingebaut haben und man auch sterben konnte und eben sehr viel Spielstand verloren gehen konnte, bis zu dem Punkt, dass man neu starten musste und dann viele Leute einfach zu LucasArts gegangen sind, weil da war das nicht so und da hat das viel mehr Spaß gemacht. So, jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, ob wir in die Kirche überhaupt rein dürfen.
Your heart beats faster and faster as you push on the handle of the church door. It opens and you nervously step inside.
Oh wow. Teufelsanbetung. Anbeting? Was ist das?
You look over the book. It is a journal written by Lowolf, head monk of the Church of Kalima. Flipping through it, you see a paragraph with a name you recognize.
It is frustrating as always dealing with Count Kaldar and his ilk. He is just like his father, perhaps even worse. He insists that Kalima be pushed forward to enlighten the peasantry. Can he not see that this path leads to ruin? How can the people retain their moral goodness if their minds are filled with knowledge of the wilder world and all of its sin?
You turn a few more pages and choose another interesting-looking paragraph.
I am quite convinced that Kaldor is so blinded by his so-called vision of Kalima that he cannot see the folly of his intentions. And yet, he is the Lord of Kalima. To publicly refute him would create confusion and anger the people. I am a man of patience and the greatest gift his grace has granted me. Perhaps time will settle this young lord's idealism and grant him sense in the process.
The journal largely contains many entries of similar types and of daily matters of a monk's life. You are about to replace the journal where you found it, but your eye catches a most peculiar passage.
A wonderment was discovered in the forest this night. The spirits of the wild, long thought to be only a legend, appeared to us and saw fit to grant my brethren and I the most blessed of gifts. Such power we now have. Our forms can be abandoned in favor of any other, and I am to be their leader, their most powerful. They are bound to me inextricably? Okay. The spirits have made promises of greater things to come for us. Oh, it fills me with such longing. The endless possibilities. what we will achieve with our abilities. I am restless. I must leave for a time. The moon is full, and I feel the urge to join my pack as they run. Perhaps we will hunt, perhaps we will kill. My mind is now clear, and I know the path before us. It is a path that shall lead us to greatness, and it will begin with the destruction of our nemesis. But now I no longer have the patience to write. I must run, I must hunt, I must kill?
The passage ends abruptly. Though there are many pages left to be written on, it is evident that the final passage was written a number of years ago. How strange. You replace the journal, putting it back where you found it.